Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome to today's video. So I woke up this morning to a lot of DMs of people saying like, yo, you gotta check out Dopa's op GG, quickly look at his most recent game. So I quickly jumped on, had a look, and his most recent game was a Twisted Fate game into FAKER's Talon. I got really excited, can't wait to review this game. Of course, I wanted to do a Dopa Talon review, but I'm gonna do the Twisted Fate versus Talon. These two don't really pair off that often. The last time they versed was Season 7. I think FAKER looked much stronger in the last pairing. So it'll be very interesting to watch today's gameplay, how it all plays out. Take note, still haven't confirmed it's actually his account. LS posted a review this morning, and I asked LS, are you sure? And he's like, yo, the movements are exactly the same. It's definitely him. But one thing that I thought was a little bit strange is a couple of discrepancies in like build orders and items. In China, Dopa was just doing, whenever he played Talon, he'd always go a sweeper. Now when he plays Talon on Korean server on this account, he never goes sweeper, so it's a little bit different. Dopa also, his official YouTube commented on my last commentary being like, who is this player, lol? And then he deleted the comment, and I'm just thinking like, is he trying to create speculation? Does he want to try and keep this account for as long as he can without getting banned? I don't really know what's happening. Even if it is a copycat, I'm happy to review it. Imagine how strong of a player you have to be to copy someone's playstyle, beat FAKER. Like, this guy is insane. Whoever it is, if it's Dopa, if it's not, is a 71% win rate right now, 1 game off Korean Challenger. It's a great, really nice playstyle to watch, and hopefully you can apply it to your own gameplays and learn something from it. So without further ado, let's get into today's gameplay. Alright, so head into the game, guys, just quickly touching on the runes. He's gone for the sorcery and inspiration setup, a very common Twisted Fate setup for him. He changes it into melee matchups such as Aurelia and Yasuo, where he goes grass, but this is pretty much the standard Twisted Fate matchup for him. Rune setup right now. He also likes to go boots for potions. A lot of the time right now, he's going boots for potions, and then he's going for like a Mercs or a Tabai rush, mainly to get more sustainability in lane, get that extra movement speed, probably the most important stat for Twisted Fate, so that you can use your spacing correctly where you're moving in and out of the enemy's trading range, getting your cards off, and then moving out of the trading range, and just honestly just winning the trade. So this matchup early, Talon into TF, Talon is just going to shove you in. There's really not much you can do other than try and order him when he goes for the melee range autos to finish off the minions. Poke as much as you can and hope the jungler comes through. The 1v1 kill potential is very low, but the 2v2 kill potential is very high. If you can get if your jungler comes through when you have a guaranteed stun on Twisted Fate, you're going to beat out Gragas Talon. Is Rengar, Twisted Fate is definitely going to win that trade just because of the guaranteed stun coming through from the Twisted Fate. So right now, FAKER is just hard shoving the Twisted Fate in. Not much you can do. You're just looking to CS correctly, but you're also looking to freeze. You're looking to keep on your side of the wave. You'll notice when Dopa plays a lot of his champions, see these two pillars in the mid lane? He likes to hover right here, where he's safe from enemy jungler ganks, but also the enemy opponent, like FAKER right now, if the Rengar wanted to, he could probably get a gank off top side. It's very easy to simply flash stun him. Good harass off here. It's weird to see that FAKER didn't go for the cleanse. It's very risky. If you're playing Talon, or if you're playing Talon to things like Zoe, Twisted Fate, it's usually common for you to go cleanse just to avoid the CC early on. It's really, well, not even early on, the entire game. It's very hard to itemize towards a QSS on Talon. You don't really have the room for it. So he tanks these minions up here, guys. It's really important to look for a freeze right now. So the Talon was out of corrupting potion ticks. He could easily look for a base or a roam here. Usually the Talon looks for the base. He gets back to lane. Once you're level 3, you have that point in E, so you can skip across the terrain really quickly. So Dopa sets a freeze up. Make sure to try and deny as much as you can through the wave. FAKER is MIA. Comes back into the lane. FAKER would have looked to base. Notice that Dopa set up the freeze and decided not to because he's going to lose too much. He would lose probably about a wave and a bit of experience, which is just too important for this matchup. So now it's going to hard shove towards FAKER. But he uses that W just to rake it out. It's so annoying. It's like Dopa there, if he could have hard shoved that, if you're playing into something like a Malzahar or something where you can't shove, like FAKER couldn't get that disc W off to match the shove, you can literally get that shove on and get a free base. But right now you just couldn't because FAKER's shove is just, it's so superior to the Twisted Fate right now. Pops his ward mid top side. That's his first ward of the game, interestingly. Hasn't really felt any need to ward out. Hasn't really had the opportunity to either, because most of the time he's been playing between these two pillars. Level 5 on TF is really nice. 2 Qs will kill the backline caster minions, the ranged minions. Also, look guys, he's using the minion dematerializer on the ranged minions. This is so at level 9, you throw 1 Q through the wave and it's going to one-shot those backline casters, and it's really, really smooth and efficient to clear. First item buy is a Seekers. He does this a lot into AD matchups. Getting that stopwatch as well, you can synergize it really well. It becomes a really cheap Zhonya's into things like Camille, Talon, Rakan. This is going to pay dividends when the enemy team is trying to dive on you. This Hourglass, of course, most of the time he goes for the Roa Hourglass Lichbane build. But into these type of AD assassins, he changes it up a lot. Also doesn't mind delaying his like scaling items. One thing he doesn't really mind doing is when he's playing Kassadin, he goes tier after Roa. So right now he's delaying his Roa by a lot, but he's really not fussed. He really wants to itemize more so towards the lane rather than just going for, oh, I want to have Roa at like 12 minutes. I need to scale. He doesn't really have this type of mindset. Gragas and River flashes. Empowered E with the Ignite should drop him. I'm not sure if did he see the Gragas? I can't really tell. I think he might have saw the Gragas there. Goes topside to clear the wave. It's important to look at the map now, guys. So Urgot cannot make it. So like, look, Urgot, I believe, died, or he wasn't going to make it to lane in time. So you go top lane to cover the wave. Urgot runs mid to clear. Now he's going to run back. He could have even decided here to shove one more. Urgot clears the mid, and then they rotate across. Dopa is known for staying, if he commits to a lane, he doesn't want to swap back unless it's efficient as possible. If it's more efficient for him to stay in lane for another wave or two before there's a perfect timing to get the clear, he'll do that. Arthur looking for the wraparound with the Mobies. He has his ult and the red buff. Could have got an auto. Could have got definitely a misplay there. That should have been a gold card. It should have been an auto gold card or just a straight gold card. It would have been a kill. Doesn't want to burn his ult here. A lot of players here will just... Does he burn the... No, doesn't burn the ult. A lot of players here will just burn the ult and be like, okay, I fucked up. I'm going to commit. But here he goes. Okay, Talon's quick as hell. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to chase it down. And the Talon is going to execute. You assume the Talon's going to execute. It looks like he's actually going to get base. Fake... Wait, Faker? No, fake it. Wait, Faker had the base and he decides to execute. You're inting. Anyways, you want to shove it in. Dope is shoved in the mid wave to deny the Talon. Gets the roam off bot side as well. He has the opening window. Both of them die. If he's going to take this Ezreal's farm. The battle of the farm always happens. Gets the bot lane. That's a beautiful roam. Gets a lot of CS as well, which is important. Ninja Tabai, okay. Goes to the Ninja Tabai. This is more so... And a blasting. So he's wanting to go Roa now. Because he has that stopwatch coming in, you do not need to complete the Hourglass, guys. A lot of people... If you go Seekers, you don't have to commit to it. All you're really wanting is the armor to survive, okay? You don't... Because you have the stopwatch, you already have the active. It's really inefficient to upgrade on a stopwatch. You want to wait until you've used the stopwatch so you can pretty much get 2 Hourglasses actives to within a really small period of time. Doesn't have vision of the Talon here. Uses a control ward in the mid lane. That's a strange mid lane control ward. What that does, because a lot of the time against Twisted Fate, even against Talon, like the players will put a really deep trinket, yellow trinket in the lane, so you can see if the enemy is like, if Twisted Fate is roaming bot, he's roaming top, if he's basing, what he's doing. So that pink ward denies a lot. Most of the time you see it more so towards the blue, like behind on that pillar there, like right there, like near your tower, or you see it deep on the bot side. It's a strange one. I've never actually seen that ward, but you can tell the value of it. It's going to be paying dividends as the enemy team has no idea what the Twisted Fate's doing, if he's basing, what he's doing. Almost level 9 for that one-shot backline. See now, like he's out of vision now. That control would just ensures the enemy team has no vision of him. Ultimate's coming up in 20 seconds or so. Gragas gets caught out. Waste a stopwatch. He's gonna die anyway. It's a shame. Enemy team also has like no AP other than the Gragas guys. So you probably see a lot of you've already seen that Ezreal is going to go for the gauntlet. You itemize extremely hard towards armor in these type of games, and the later it goes, the more it favors you. To be honest though, I have seen some AP Gragases popping off. They go like Electrocute, Runic, Morello, Deathcap, and you just you get one shot. It's actually disgusting. Looking for the base in hit. Faker moves up, probably going to stop it. Faker is really smart. Faker is one of the best players I've seen that can stop these type of bases. Even if he has no vision, he can just smell it. It's weird. He literally can just smell off these type of these base timings. It's weird. Blue's up. He really wants the blue now. Like, give me the blue ASAP. Dopa gets really annoyed with people who fuck is like, they'll, oh dude, the Alistair puts the ward. That's the ward I'm talking about. Most of the time you see when you're playing Twisted Fate. Dopa gets really annoyed with players who waste his time. He misses half a wave there in XP, I think. The Talon drumming bot side, he spams pings it out. He has the ultimate, but low mana to follow. He only has enough for a Q. He only has enough for a W. He doesn't have enough for a Q. So I think that's a pretty bad follow. I don't think that was... I think he assumed maybe he could just like one rotation him. But he didn't have enough mana after ult. They're looking for the first... It's not even the first tower, but they're looking for bot side tower. No vision on the Gragas or Talon, so they could be looking for a dive. You gotta be a little bit careful here. Camille teleports through, it indicates, hey, we're all fucking bot lane, we're looking to dive this. Needs to back up. I don't know if they want to defend. I feel like it's risky if everybody's bot side, and Ezreal's getting a positive trade top side. Dopa moves up, doesn't give a fuck, wants to defend it. He still has a stopwatch, which is probably, if he didn't have the stopwatch, there's no way he'd move up. They got the tower. He misses the Q. Camille dodges out on the W. Rengar's coming through. Jumps onto the wall to gap, the ward to gap close. And just ints. Literally ints. That's a shame. That's a shame from the Rengar. You can't really be doing that into their type of comp. They're going to CC you up and just burst you. You got no health. MCS per minute. He's in really good pace right now. Goes for the Hourglass upgrade. Okay, so as I said earlier, if you have the stopwatch active available, you shouldn't upgrade to the Hourglass. But right now, because he used it, he wants to get that Hourglass ASAP. He wants to make sure he has this active for the next team fight or next exchange, because into something like a Talon, or even like a Gragas, Camille, like all these champions, if you have stopwatch, they get denied so hard. They get denied so hard. So having this is more important than going for the completed roller, because most likely if you use it in the next team fight, it can be huge net win, can maybe net you a Drake or Rift Herald, which a lot of times snowballs you the game. Like this, it's the small things and small team fights early that dictate how that game actually goes. So not much to do right now on the map. Ultimate's coming up in about 15 seconds or so. They're pinging out Rift Herald. He's still not ready for the 1-3-1, but in the next 5 minutes or so, he's very likely to go to a side lane. He wants that top lane. As soon as that top lane tower drops, he's going to be looking to side lane. And I'll talk a little bit later about how you should be side laning into these assassins. Talon roams through. They know they're going for the Rift Herald. The bot lane needs to respond. It's a gold card. Faker would have seen he has the stopwatch, that decides not to, or the Hourglass decides not to engage. Pops the ult. He could commit. He does have the Hourglass, but decides not to. Decides that the ultimate confirms they get the Rift Herald, and that's all you really need, because now you can Rift Herald mid, and if you follow up, it's not really, your team can't chase because they're doing the Rift Herald, so it's not really efficient to go in. Khan gets a good engage. Rift Herald should clean up the mid lane tower. It's important to drop this mid lane tower. And also the wave is stacked. Bot lane slow push the top side. So now it's stacking onto the tower and drops it. Very likely now, guys, that this is the moment that Dopa will look to drop into the side lane. Urgot's running bot. The fuck's the Ezreal? Ezreal running mid. Still doesn't have that roller, slowly getting into it. He walks topside. Do you see how it's very obvious right now? A 1-3-1 is I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's becoming clear that a 1-3-1 is more efficient than you just going down mid. The one thing, so I'll talk about how this split push works. So in this split push into a Talon, you have to play pretty reactive. You can't really play proactive into a Talon, or like even if you're playing into a Zed, or like I would even say like a Fizz. You have to be very cautious when you have no vision and you don't know where the enemy is. So a lot of the times if you're playing into something like an Orianna, you can play a proactive split push where you're up in the enemy side of the map split pushing now. If you have the vision out, you can play very aggressively, but into a Talon, and especially with no vision, you've got to play proactive. Wait for FAKER to shove the wave. You'll go across, clear the wave, and then you come back and group with your team, and you'll keep doing that. Unless you get such a huge advantage where you just one rotation FAKER, which probably won't happen. So FAKER shoved in the mid lane wave now. We don't know where he is, but he's going to go across and answer the wave. Also, the blue buff's up. I don't know if he'll solo it. It takes a while. FAKER decides to shove one more in. Ultimate's up now. He needs that vision topside. He's not going to be able to play proactive until his team moves up topside, get some vision into the red side jungle. This is why he keeps the yellow trinket guys on Twisted Fate, is so that he can get that vision himself when he has time. He can get the deep wards that he needs to be able to split push efficiently. Rengar's going to leash the blue. Needs that roll back soon. He should have the gold. I'm gonna shove one more and then get it. It'd be really smart of him to get a deep ward, like, get a deep ward in this lane, like really deep, so that he can see when the Talon is roaming or if he's going down a lane to hard shove. It's gonna give you so much value and so much information. Does he have enough for a control? Okay, beautiful. We'll see where he places that. Has the ultimate, runs down mid. Has nothing really to do topside right now. But the Rengar's basing, so you can't really look for an engage with that Rengar. You kind of just want to wait for the ultimate. Wait for you guys to synergize and just go in. So see how right now, see how he's playing very reactive in the topside split push. Doesn't know where the Talon is. They're most likely grouped mid. Talon is not topside, so the Talon's most likely looking for a pick somewhere. Holy shit, okay. 5 members were waiting there. Gragas flashes. It's actually not bad. If Dopa can clear the mid lane waves, it's actually not bad at all. You don't lose much. All you lose is Ezreal. He has teleport. The Gragas blows his flash, blows his ult. Urgot's getting priority bot side. It's not too bad, unless they look for the dive here and get something. In all honesty though, the dive's kind of risky. Still has his hourglass. Flash is out. Oh fuck, he might actually drop here. Holy shit, they do no damage to him. Look how important those Ninja Tabi and Hourglass is, guys. That armor there keeps him alive. The enemy team fucking ints. It's a 4 for none. This relieves so much pressure on the map. Huge gold swing. It just works out beautifully in blue side's favor. We'll see how he passes here. Probably topside. There's a huge wave. He still has his ult though, so maybe look for a mid lane dive. See what he does. I feel like the topside wave's too big. He'll clear topside. If you slow push topside now, I mean, you can't really slow push into a Talon because he's gonna rotate across. He's very quick. But if you're playing in something like the Orianna, like I said, that's very much like they're much slower to react to a side lane split. You can slow push this wave, and then you can just group and look for sieges. Look for like a 4-1 siege where 4 people are mid, your bot, or the teleport's mid, or Urgot's bot and 4 mid, and your top lane will just do work and deny them a lot of gold. Cells are refillable for a blasting here. See, this is one weird thing that I never really saw Dopa do that much of, where he would sell Instead of going Aether Wisp, he sells Refillable and goes the Blasting. See, that's just strange to me. I don't really see many times that Dopa does this type of... He usually is very greedy and keeps onto these type of items. He decides to sell it off. Maybe he's changed his playing style, but there's just like the smallest things that I notice where I go, this isn't like normal for him. This is different. He doesn't really use this. Like usually he likes the MS from the Aether Wisp. But then again, I'm not too sure. He could have changed his playstyle, could have changed his build path. Has the ultimate up. Once again, not playing proactively, splitting. Knows the Talon's bot side though, so I feel like you could split one. But wants to be in range. Rengar gets the pick. Control wood mid topside brush. What Drake is coming up? Top lane is slow pushed. It's gonna shove in. He must have seen it was slow pushing. My bad. I thought it was gonna be even, but it looks like the... I can't really tell without looking at it. I honestly don't think he needs to be here in the Drake. He could be deep bot side with his ult. Doesn't really need to leash it. Talon has Tiamat now. He can easily shove, but the problem is, how do you play Talon at this stage of the game? How do you get in on a Twisted Fate with Gold Card and an Alistar? It's like, it's near impossible to teamfight. And you have a split push, you can't get anything done because Dopa will play the 1v1 smarter. He'll just, because you don't have cleanse, he'll just Gold Card you and run away and disengage. I don't see how FAKER plans on winning this game. I don't see the win condition at all. When you're playing this, you have to understand, what's the enemy team's win condition? How will the enemy team come back into this game and win? And right now, I honestly don't see many options. The only type of win scenario I see is like a hard engage or a hard pick with Camille, Gragas, and Rakan. It's the only way. And if they don't stack and group and give it, I mean, it's pretty free. It's pretty free for them to close out the game. Baron is the last objective where they're kind of looking, if you can get a Baron and close out an inhib, it's worth it. It provides so much value for a split pushing comp or a split pushing champion like TF, because if you drop like topside inhib, it's so easy to split the map up. So there's no positive, like there's no, I guess there's just no answer where it's going to be net a positive win for the enemy team. Like if you don't go topside, you can split in. Someone has to answer topside, and if someone answers topside, it means you get bot side. If no one answers topside, it means they're going to shove into tower, possibly drop a Nexus turret. Stuff like that, where there's no positive win for the enemy team. Like even winning a team fight's not positive. Stays on the back line here. Watch how Dopa plays it. He very, very rarely goes in before his team. He likes to sit back, provide the gold cards, and not put himself at risk. They could do a Baron here, but the jungler's still available. Talon's still available. Instead, they decide to bait. It's not the Gragas. I feel like, I mean, the Talon's still up. Very risky Baron. He still has his hourglass. FAKER ruins his stopwatch. Goodbye. This should be a free Baron now. You see, like, it was very risky. They could maybe have done Baron, but it was very risky because their Baron comp's not the quickest. As of right now, Ezreal doesn't have Blade of the Rune King. So they bait it, they play it slow, they play in outside of the enemy vision. They get the pick, and now they hard commit. Now there's no way the enemy team will get in on it. And now with this Baron, they should be able to close. Huge gold leads opened up. Dopa will have enough for the Lich Bane now. I wonder, okay, he's gonna get Lich and then clear blue. Lich Bane, Amp Tomb. Usually now the build path is Void Staff, Death Cap, Cell Boots, Spellbinder. Most of the time. Death Cap 4th is only in really rare, scenarios where they have like literally no MR. Still committing to the side lane. Has the ultimate up. Stopwatch still available. Right now, he actually has kill pressure on the Talon. He'll split this in. Dude, Urgot drops. God, it's annoying when Urgot drops. Urgot drops there, so it kind of delays them a little bit. He still has really good vision. See how I was talking about? Now you can be proactive in the split because you have the vision. You can move up with little to no risk. Bring the pressure, bring them across, and disengage as they get too close. Urgot has TP as well, which just allows him to rejoin the fight, which means they don't need to back off entirely. Just going to do a slow siege, play the vision game. Not much the enemy team can do against it. Their hard engage is just like... If they hard engage, it's pretty much a suicide mission for whoever engages. So without GAs, it's fucking impossible. And Irelia is very far away from a GA, and so is Talon. So Dopa on these stages, guys. He likes to sit like on his carries and likes to pull the gold card as the enemy team tries to commit. Never aggressing too far. Mid lane inhib dropped, top lane inhib dropped. Please do not just sit around mid, twiddle your thumbs and look for a team fight. Back up, look for bot side. Fight on the objective. So bot side is the objective. Bot side inhibitor. Mid and top are already dropped. I see a lot of teams, they'll just go down mid here and they'll just twiddle their thumbs, look for a fight. If you're looking for a fight, look for it on the objective. So if it's a net win, you can just clear out the game. Or even if it's not a net win, you can whittle away at something. You're not just sitting mid going back and forth like absolute idiots. You're actually aiming towards gaining an objective. The mid and top is going to get shoved in regardless. There's nothing they can do against it. Gotta be careful, no vision here. Has his flash, has his stopwatch, he's under no risk. Moves up with confidence here. Gets that gold card and just hovers it, you know what I mean? Having that gold card above your head on Twisted Fate is pretty much just denying the enemy team. There's not much they can do into it. So right now you're thinking, okay, what's the enemy team's win condition? The enemy team is going, okay, if we don't engage here, we lose the game. Zai gets picked off. You have to be thinking, what is the enemy team's win condition? So if there's only one inhibitor left, they're going to try and fight that. They're going to try and engage on that. And if you guys play it safely and don't give them the opportunity to engage, this is going to be a clear win like this. There's not much the enemy can do at all at the moment. And it's looking like they're just going to close the game out with the Baron. The Baron's expired now, but they're going to close. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that was, I guess, a nice replay for you guys. I liked reviewing it. Ooh. Gets the kill on FAKER to finish off. Beautiful. No, it's really good. I see a lot of people asking me questions. How do I counter Talon? Talon is bullshit champion. Cannot beat it. Well, here you go. This is how you beat Talon. You play very smart. You don't give him the opportunities to get the kills because you're itemizing correctly. You play a very reactive side lane. But also, if the Talon looks for the engaged mid lane, you've got your ultimate to cut across and shut him down. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this replay. If you have, drop a like. I'll be doing daily uploads throughout the week, so make sure to get a subscribe on my channel if you like my content. And I guess I'll see you next time, guys.